Hello everyone, I am Manali Reshamwala, Assistant Professor from LG Institute of Physiotherapy. Today I am going to talk about pulmonary rehabilitation. It is a part of syllabus for final year physiotherapy students of Gujarat University, and the subject is physiotherapy in cardiopulmonary conditions. We have divided pulmonary rehabilitation videos in three parts. So in first part we are going to discuss about definition of pulmonary rehabilitation, goals and outcomes, candidates for rehabilitation which may include inclusion and exclusion criteria, pulmonary rehabilitation team and characteristic of that team. So first let's see the definition. Pulmonary rehabilitation is an evidence-based, multidisciplinary and comprehensive intervention for patients with chronic respiratory diseases who are symptomatic and often have decreased daily life activities. Integrated into individual treatment of the patient, pulmonary rehabilitation is designed to reduce symptoms, optimize functional status, increase participation, and reduce healthcare costs through stabilizing or reversing systemic manifestation of the disease. It is the restoration of individual to the fullest medical, mental, emotional, social, and vocational well-being. So here, if any patient is there with breathing difficulty, gradually he will be having inactivity, because with activity he will be having breathlessness or exertion. So he will stop doing activity and patient will fall under inactivity phase. After inactivity, patient's physical deconditioning also occurs. More of the issues with lung will increase, so ultimately patient will be disabled, and because of that there will be again breathing difficulty. So because of breathing issue there will be a cycle which leads a patient deterioration of his condition. We need to break this with the help of pulmonary rehabilitation. So pulmonary rehabilitation is defined by National Institute of Health is, so here is a very important definition for pulmonary rehabilitation which includes all the things which we are going to do in it. So the definition says that it is a multidisciplinary continuum of services directed to persons with pulmonary disease and their families. So here person and family both will be included for rehabilitation, usually by an interdisciplinary team of specialists with the goal of achieving and maintaining individuals' maximal level of independence and functioning in the community. Physiotherapists play an integral part in management by giving the techniques aimed to reduce work of breathing and improving disability. So let's see disease-specific aspect of rehabilitation, which include patient assessment and goal setting, exercise training, self-management, education, nutritional intervention, and psychological support. Goals and outcomes in the pulmonary rehabilitation will be: the goals for an individual pulmonary patient must be very specific and pertaining to his or her lifestyle, needs and personal interest. So these way the goals should be set. This is possible only after a thorough evaluation of the patient's disease state and clinical course, physical examination and possibly a patient family interview. So the three essential areas that require outcome measures in pulmonary rehabilitation includes are the following. One is exercise capacity, second is symptoms like dyspnea and fatigue, and third is health related quality of life. So by these three things we will be able to know the outcome of pulmonary rehabilitation in a patient. So goals we need to create for individual person according to his or her lifestyle, needs, personal interest. We need to even evaluate the patient, his condition. We also need to have a family patient interview, so that by all these things we can get idea about patient condition completely and we can set up a goal. Once these goals have been decided, treatment will be given. Then these three are the outcomes which we have to focus. So before giving treatment, we will assess with three outcomes, and after a certain period of time we will be taking the assessment. So how we can get whether there is improvement in exercise capacity or not? So the patient will first gain sufficient strength, flexibility and endurance to accomplish identified activities of daily living and requirement of employment and recreational tasks. Second, learn to employ strategies to manipulate the environment to maximum physical functioning. We are going to see in a short about this in detail, how we can give them strength, flexibility, endurance exercises, as well as how we can give them ideas about the manipulation of environment, which gives them maximum functional work. For these to get to know whether the exercise capacity is increased or not, we can have outcome measures like graded exercise test, time distance walk test like 6-minute walk test, 12-minute walk test, etc. Then shuttle walk test and timed ADL tests. So according to whatever the activity we want to give them, like from sit to stand and walk towards the corridor and then coming back from there to sit again back, then we can give them a time limit. By that time limit or whatever the time limit they are giving, whether it is improved after rehabilitation or not, that we have to see. If it is not improved, we need to give them some more exercises which require to improve it, and if they have improved, then we can continue with the same protocol. Next is improvement in clinical symptoms. For example, patient will be able to effectively mobilize respiratory secretions, employ strategies to relieve symptoms of dyspnea and cough, recognize early signs of need for medical intervention, decrease the frequency and severity of respiratory exacerbation, and optimal oxygen saturation through the day and night. These all are the benefits of pulmonary rehabilitation in improvement of clinical symptoms. So all these things have happened or not, for that we need to do outcome measure, which includes use of word or visual analog scale to measure dyspnea or fatigue. We know the box scale, we have to give it to the patient, he has to do any activity and we have to relate it which level of activity he is finding. Usually it should be between 11 to 12. The movement in health related behaviors. Suppose with the pulmonary rehabilitation, patient will get to stop tobacco, use drugs or alcohol misuse. He may comply with medical and rehabilitation treatments, improve coping skills, and improve psychological function. So all these things can be measured with the behavioral survey, patient diaries, and social engagement, etc. We can also ask the family to describe about the patient's behavior. So these were the outcomes or specific three characteristic of outcomes. We can also have some other assessment tools such as functional performance, home-based activity, psychological outcomes such as anxiety and depression, adherence to respiratory rehabilitation, that is any dropout or attendance rate can be also calculated. Then knowledge and self-efficiency, smoking cessation, nutrition and weight, and patient satisfaction. So these all things can be also measured. Now let's discuss what are the goals to pulmonary rehabilitation. First and foremost is to maintain ability and to minimize impact the disability has on the individual, family and community. Whatever the disease patient is having, and because of that, whatever the society or family or individual person have difficulties, we need to minimize it as much as possible. Like suppose person is having lung cancer or respiratory failure, then there will be dependency on family. So the effect on family or social life, that can be minimized as much as possible if patient comes for pulmonary rehabilitation. Then to control and alleviate as much as possible the symptoms and pathophysiological complications of respiratory improvement. Certain cases like COPD, we can prevent exaggerated reflexes, or we can say the exaggerated factors which aggravates the condition, so that we can reduce the or control the symptoms. To teach the patient how to achieve optimal capability for carrying out his or her ideals by modification, task modification, environment modification with the energy conservation techniques also we can teach them. Fourth is to decrease psychological symptoms such as anxiety or depression. If patient is coming for rehabilitation, we can make them to stop getting panic when there is a attack of asthma or any kind of symptoms, which may increase the symptoms more if they are getting anxious. So by keeping calm, he has to self-control his taking his medicine or aerosol therapy or anything and subside, or he can also take a positioning to relieve dyspnea instead of getting anxious or depressed. Then to improve quality of life, 6 is to promote independence and self-reliance, to reduce exacerbation and hospitalization, to improve exercise tolerance, family education, counseling and support, which is very important, especially in a case of child when child is having asthma, and last is occupation training. Program goals for a person particularly, which are the programs goals should be there. By this way we are going to prescribe patient exercise or decide the rehabilitation program. So first is design and implement patient's individualized program. Second, train, motivate and rehabilitate the patient to his or her maximum potential in self-care through an organized team effort. Train and motivate the patient's family in patient's treatment program. Reduce economic burden of pulmonary disease on society through reduction of acute exacerbation and hospitalization. Educate the general public and healthcare professionals about pulmonary health and rehabilitation. Increase awareness in medical community regarding the importance of an early detection of pulmonary disease through screening spirometry. So here are the candidates which can go for pulmonary rehabilitation, which are any kind of chronic pulmonary disease like obstructive or restrictive disease, moderate to severe decrease in pulmonary capacities in which we find that there is a low pulmonary capacity, we can include them. Surgical conditions like thoracoplasty, thoracotomy, lung surgeries, etc. These are patients are also included. So again repeating the inclusion criteria, which may include any obstructive disease like emphysema, bronchitis, bronchiectasis, any restrictive disease like fibrosis, exposure to risk of COPD like cigarette smoking, occupational exposure, air pollution, infection of the lung, impaired immune systems, as well as those patients we are having frequent wheezing, coughing or dyspnea type of symptoms. Exclusion criteria of these patients will include patient with severe limitation in their chest mobility, inability to learn, then psychiatric instability like those who are having mental retardation, disruptive behavior and unstable angina. Pulmonary rehabilitation team, which includes physician, nurse, clinical nutritionist, physiotherapist, occupational therapist, psychologist and social worker. Characteristic of this team includes the team should be interdisciplinary with a common purpose, interactive and collaborative, authority of lowest level, trust, knowledge of specialized area, and philosophical leader and coordinator. Here are the references. Do watch my next video for further details about pulmonary rehabilitation. Thank you.